Hi YouTube, it's me Sean. I'm coming back for possibly two videos because my first video is going to be about this is the first video I'm going to do for my miscarriage message to all the parents that suffered a miscarriage and the people around them. Um, and then my other video, if I can squeeze it all in, is about me because I went to the doctor today. So, and I found out some news about Emmanuel and why my son didn't make it. But, so, okay, so first I'll tell you how my miscarriage happened. The night before I miscarried, I felt, Emmanuel moved that night, and I think I might have did a video and posted it when I felt him move, because I was talking to my grandmother and I was eating nachos. I'll never forget. I was eating nachos and I felt a definite, like I had been feeling him move, but actually feel him move to where it was so noticeable that it was like there's nothing else it could be. And I just started laughing and my grandma's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Well," I was like, Emmanuel's, oh, I didn't know he was a boy, but I was like, the baby's moving, and I was like, it just feels weird, it's funny, and I just, would laugh every time he'd do it. And so I got the phone with my grandmother, went to bed, because it was late, and he had started moving while I was laying down. I'm like, talking to him like, oh no, we're not going to start this at night, so they say, it mimics, like, sometimes as the baby gets older, they in your uterus, during your pregnancy, their sleep wake cycles kind of start to mimic how they will be when they get when they're born. So I'm like, oh no, we can't have a night baby because I need sleep. So, but yeah, so that's what happened. So then the next day, I did a lot of driving. When it finally all went down, I had started to feel a little bit of stomach pain or whatever, and I thought it was gas, and I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was just something I ate or whatever, it wasn't agreeing. And as, about an hour went by, maybe about 30 minutes to an hour, my ankles were swollen and throbbing. It felt like I had broke both of my ankles because they were just in that much pain. It hurt so bad. And so I had propped my foot up, everybody's laughing like, aha, not laughing at my feet being swollen, but just the fact that, well, maybe it was that it was swollen. I don't know, but yeah, but they were like, dang, Sean, your feet are huge, blah blah. And then I got chills, and I was like, and I didn't realize they were chills until I put on a jacket, and I asked my sister, like, is it cold in here? And she was like, no. And I'm like, I'm cold. And so I got my jacket and I put it on. Then so I started to feel like really bad. And so my mom, because I work for my parents, so they were like, are you gonna go home? And I was like, well, I'm gonna lay down first and to wait for this to pass because I don't feel too good. So I laid down and I'm asleep, and I'm like shivering. I don't know when I start shivering, but I could not get warm whatsoever. And naturally it's cold in my parents' house, but I'm like, oh my goodness, I was shivering so bad. And then when I woke up or was starting to wake up, it was like when I would shiver, I would get contractions and then back pain, but it would be on and off. Like one would be my contractions, the other would be my back pain. Every time I shiver, I get some type of discomfort. So I went to the bathroom because that's what I feel like I had to do, and and then I went into my parents' room and laid down. Why I didn't go to them and tell them that, hey, I think I need to go to the doctor, I'm doing this, I don't know. I guess it was just like basic instinct, like, okay, just keep yourself warm. And plus, I wasn't trying to think of it as anything, but I knew that, like, if I keep shivering, this, I was gonna, my stomach would hurt or I would get cramps really bad. And I was like, I don't want to have a preterm, baby. So I'm like, okay. I couldn't stop shivering though. It was uncontrollable. And my sister went to get my mom. My mom came in, and she started asking me questions to find out how was I feeling and everything. And she called the doctor. She called the hospital near her house, and they told her to take me to my doctor, or the hospital that I would been going to see the doctor, and which was in Dayton, which is like 45 minutes from my mom. So we went down to Dayton. Well, one, they had to carry, my water started to break in her bed, and my water started to break in her bed, and so my mom's like, okay, you cannot move, and my contractions and back pain was getting worse, and so they carried me out. My mom, my dad, my sister carried me out, put me into my mom's expedition, and this was not easy. All the while, my water is still slowly breaking while they're, putting me in the truck. So then we get down there to the ER. My water broke even more in the back of my mom's car. So water breaks even more. We get into the ER. I'm puking. And I think I had stopped shivering, but my water is just breaking, and it's cold, and I'm like, okay. So then I get upstairs, so they check me in, get me upstairs into this triage, and on the OB floor, and put me on this bed, and so they're looking for the baby's heartbeat, and they couldn't find his heartbeat. So they that's when I got my IV. And the doctor came in, and my water's just breaking. It's just, it just feels weird. Like you're just soaked in your own, I don't know, when you like go to the bathroom, it just feels like you just went to the bathroom by yourself, and you're just sitting there while they're doing all these, doing my vitals, checking my temperature, asking me questions. My only concern was, I was concerned for my baby. That was number one. Number two, my ankles were throbbing, and I needed a pillow under them, and my back was killing me, and I needed a pillow, and I felt like I had to have a bowel movement. Not to be too much information, but that's what it feels like when, you have something pushing on you. It feels like you have to go have a bowel movement. And my mom was like, don't do that, because that's the baby. That's not you having to, go to the bathroom. That is the baby. So I'm like, but it's just like this overwhelming feeling like if I just, go, I'll be okay. Like, but no, it was the baby. So, the whole time the nurse is like, well, I can't get you anything for your pains that you're in right now. We're just trying to get all this other stuff done. So I'm like getting aggravated. Then the doctor tells my mom like she's having a miscarriage. I heard him. It didn't click to me until after, when I was having him. So they moved me to a birthing room, and the doctor told me that I'm going to have to push, and because his head was right there, and I had, my back pain was so unbearable that it was just unbearable. So I was just staying my back, just crying out my back. And by that time my husband had made it, because he was working a double shift, so he had made it. And so he's like, he gives me morphine in my IV to ease with the back pain. Not my husband, the doctor. And which really didn't help, because I'm like, when is that supposed to kick in? And he was like, it should be kicking in a few minutes. And I didn't have any relief until after I gave birth. So okay, so then I'm pushing him out. My mom, I'm like, I feel his head come through, and I'm like, what's that? My mom's like, what do you think it is? Like, we're in a hospital, we're in a birthing room, what do you think? So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know. So I push him out, and they hand him to me. Well, they asked me, did I want to hand him to, or did I want him to be placed on me? And I told them, yeah, once he gets, cleaned up and everything. And also, I wanted, I didn't have my glasses on at the time, because we had took them off when I got into the car. And I wanted to be able to see him, and memorize everything, because I already knew, he wasn't alive. So, but when he came out, I asked the doctor what was his gender, because if you guys remember, I was a week away from finding out if he was a boy or a girl. And he was like, it's a boy. And that's when I just broke down, because I don't know, again, if you guys remember, or if I even did a video, but at 9 weeks pregnant, I knew he was a boy. And it was like, I just had that feeling, and it's like, yeah, I was true. I was really, connected with baby and, you know, everything. So so then, you know, they gave me time. Hold on, let me show you guys what I got. Okay, I'm at 10 minutes here, so I might end up making another video. But I want to show you guys what I got. I got this memory. I haven't bought a memory book yet because I haven't bought one yet because you know, it's a slow process because like it's a slow process because like when you start putting things together as a memory, not that you live in a fantasy and thinking that, you know, the baby's still here, but it just makes it more permanent. And I don't know, for some reason this is comforting to me right now. And when I get ready, you know, I will put his stuff in a memory book, and the diapers that I bought that I did a video on a while back, I'll put one of those and put his name on it and put it in his memory book because that's who I bought it for. But I'm going to save it for when I get pregnant again. This is what they wrapped him in, not immediately after he was born, but this was when the nurse took him away to take pictures. They brought him back in this. It's a little quilt thing. She took him out for pictures. I kind of wish now that I would have just had my phone available, you know, to take pictures on my own, because she took him out. She had him out for like an hour, maybe hour and a half. And I'm like, can I have my son? Because before, you know, everything starts to where it becomes to the point where, okay, we have to get him, you know, take him away. But and then he has his little hat, just a little bitty hat, and there's a little blood in there. But that's my baby's hat. And I got this here. It's an imprint of his hands and his feet. And I'm going to I'm gonna get some paints, or I may have my grandmother paint it. Me and my grandmother paint it, and just paint in a color. Put his name probably down here, and you know, paint the teddy bear, and probably outline his feet and hands. I don't know how good you guys can see that, but oh, there we go. But that's my baby, and I keep it in this blanket here so it doesn't break. And but I see that the powder's coming off of it, so it's probably getting ready. Probably need to plan to paint it very soon. But then I got this book here. Now this is a folder actually. When you go through the hospital and have a miscarriage, they give you a lot of booklets about dealing with pregnancy loss and everything. And at the time, I didn't pay attention to that because I didn't want to see it. You know, dealing with the laws and all, you know, all those stuff that they tell you, because, you know, I don't know, I just wanted to, you know, have my own time to grieve. I don't want another, you know, something else or another source telling me, you know, how I'm going to feel and blah blah blah, make me cry, make me sad, and see all this sad stuff. And but yeah, I end up reading it later, and it's not, the booklets that they give you is not that. It's just like words of advice. There's, you know, some of them are testimonies from other parents that went through the same thing. I'm cutting close on time, so I'll cut this video off and I'll do another video. And thanks for watching, and keep watching part 2, because then I'll be able to wrap this video up and tell you guys about my doctor's appointment. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later, or in another video.